College's Math Week 9, May 11th through May 15th, and this is Lesson 2. So the outcomes we're going to be expecting for today are below. We are going to solve story problems using our understanding of properties of operations and the relationship between addition and subtraction in order to add and subtract fluently. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's like Lesson 1. So what we're going to do today is we're going to solve story problems. And we are going to do that by understanding the properties of the operations of addition and subtraction. We're also going to look at the relationship between addition and subtraction in order to add and subtract fluently. So lots of words in there, but a lot of things we did yesterday in Lesson 1 that'll help you with Lesson 2. And guys, once again, lots there, but I know you're going to be able to do it. Now we're going to take a look at how we can use our fact families to solve addition and subtraction story problems. First thing we want to take a look at here is we want to look at two number sentences that are equal to each other. So here our number sentence is 14 minus 6. And if you notice, we start with 14 circles in our frame, and we take away 6 of them by putting lines over top of them and crossing them out. If we add the total that we have together that's left, we would have 7 plus 1 is 8. So 14, take away 6 that are crossed out, gives us a total of 8. So we have 8 on this left side of our equal sign. Now if we come over here, we have 5 plus a hidden number is going to give us something in total that's equal to the left-hand side. And we already said that our left-hand side equals how many? 8. So what number plus 5 is going to give us 8? Well, if we take a look at our cubes down here, we see there are 5 green cubes. And what's left over? 1, 2, 3. So 5 plus 3 is also going to give us 8. So we see that these two number sentences here, 14 minus 6 and 5 plus 3, give us the same answer, but they are looking in two different ways to be made. So if we take a look down here, we see that 14 minus 6 is 8, and that is the same as 5 plus 3 equals 8, giving us 8 equals 8 on both sides. So to get the same number as your answer, there's two different ways we could have gone about doing that. Now let's take a look at a story problem. I want you to read along as I read out loud. Kendra has 57 t-shirts in her top drawer. She has 28 in her bottom drawer. How many t-shirts does she have in all? So there's a couple strategies we can do to figure this out. The first thing I want to take a look at is I want to see if I can figure out what we're trying to answer. And that's in the question here. How many t-shirts does she have in all? So one of my first strategies is figuring out what I'm looking to do. So we know that if it says in all, most likely we're going to be looking for an addition problem to find the total of some numbers in our math story. So what do we have? Well, we have 57 t-shirts, and we also have 28 t-shirts. One of the t-shirts are in the top drawer, and one of the groups of t-shirts are in the bottom drawer. So we're looking to see how many total in all t-shirts Kendra has. So let's look at a couple strategies here. Our first strategy is to use our number cubes. And if we take a look at what's in the top drawer, which would be 57, we would have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would give us 57. And it said how many we're going to have in all, so that means we want to add what's on the bottom drawer. And in the bottom drawer, we have 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So if we take 57 and we add 28 more to it, we end up with a total of 85. So that's one strategy you can use. Additionally, when you're doing this on your own sheet of paper, if you do not have your number pieces or number cubes, you can always remember that a line is equal to a 10 and that a dot is equal to a 1. So let's take a look at another strategy we can use. We can use a number line. And we know that we're going to start with our number here, 57. That's the first number that we have. Could you start with 28? Sure you can. But I started here with 57. So what am I going to add to 57? I'm going to add 28. Well, I'm going to break 28 down into easy ways for me. And the best way for me to break a number down is by grouping it in groups of 10. So I can say 28 is equal to 10 plus 10, because that gives me 20. And now I have 8 left over. Well, how can I break 8 down? Again, I like to break down numbers into things that I can add easily. And a number that's less than 10 that's easy for me to add is 5. So I am going to break this down into a 5 plus a 3. Because I know that 5 added 3 more will give me 8. So the same way to say 28 is like saying 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 3. Now how can I show that on a number line? Take a look down here. If I start at 57 and I add my first 10, I know when I add 10 to any number, I'm just increasing the tens place. So the 1 stays the same. So I'm increasing 57 to 67. So I'm done with that 10. I have another 10, and I'm going to do that one. So if I increase 67, I increase it by 10, which gives me 77. I'm out of tens. Now I've got to look at my numbers 5 and 3. So the next strategy I like to use is going from the number I'm at, which is 77, and how can I get it close to or on a number that ends in a 0? Because I'm really good at adding with zeros. Well, in this case, if I add my 3 to 77, it brings me to 80. And then what is left? 5. And I know 80 plus 5 more will give me 85. So these are our 2 ways or 2 examples that you can use to help solve this problem. Now it's your time to try it. So we're going to look at 2 work pages here, Equations and Story Problems, page 1 and page 2. On page 1, you're going to look at problem 1 and work on letters A and B and F. So you're going to complete problem 1, A, B, and F. Then you are going to look on page 2 and you're going to complete problems 4 and 5. Notice these are story problems, and notice that you can fill in the blank with words that you choose to go along with the numbers. There's also a workspace off to the side to show your work. Now, here's how you can go ahead and show your work. There are 3 different ways you can do that, or 3 options. The first is you can go ahead and you could download a Word document version and print it if you have a printer. The second one is you could do the assignment version. If you go in here, there are directions on your Schoology page to show you how to use the drawing tool in a PowerPoint slide to show your work, save it, and then download it for your teacher to see. Third, there is an assessment that you can try where it actually has questions that you can choose from multiple answers. All these options will be available. However, it'll be up to your teacher what he or she would like you to do. So now that you've thought about it, you've learned about it, and you've tried it, it's time to show what you know. So here we have 2 pages that you're going to look at, Equations and Story Problems, page 1 and 2. First thing we're going to look at is problem 1, D or C, D, E, and G. You're going to complete those problems first. Then you're going to go to page 2 and you're going to complete problems 6, 7, 8. If you want to do any additional work for review or an extension, you may go ahead and complete problems 2 and 3. Now, just like with Try It, there are 3 different options that you can do to show your work. First, show what you know, the Word version. There is a downloadable Word document. If you would like to do that, you can download it, print it, work on the paper, and then submit it to your teacher using a picture or sending it through email. Second, this is an assessment version, where if you go through the assessment version, you can look at the PowerPoint slide, use the drawing tool, write on the tool, save and upload to your teacher so your teacher can see. And finally, there is an assessment version where you can go on, answer questions that are multiple choice, and it will be directly given to your teacher. So as usual, as you go, good luck. And ask your teacher for help during your office hours or during your class teaching time. And like always, guys, keep on working with your math. It's all around us. Nature, house, friends, family. Math is something that, believe it or not, you will use every day.